The GOP is a little bit closer, 205 to Democrats 190. So some of the races here locally we're focusing on. The race for District 21 right now, neck and neck.
And I love how you pointed at me, so if you're single.
No, not at all.
But the question there is, what is the benefit, though, of single versus married? Did that play into this? I didn't know about that.
What if my front leg is shaking?
I thought they were kind of joking when I came into work because I never worked this dayside shift, and they said, you're going to be on midday to talk about Taylor Swift. I didn't question it. I said, okay.
This is the current map. So it goes from Bakersfield up to Hanford. Does not really go north of Hanford, but this map, if it gets approved by voters, you can see it encompasses a lot of western Fresno County, and it has a different shape to it. It's really stark side by side. All that seems really important. What's your final piece of advice for people watching this at home and they're like, this speaks to me? Bird's eye view of the dust just hanging over the city kind of looks like fog, but it's actually dust. The dust storm caused a lot of problems in Selma too. Emergency alerts were sent out on cell phones around 2 this afternoon. Highway 41 is now closed in both directions because of the crash. That's where we find CBS 47's Jason Toktajian. He's there live. Jason, you spoke with the CHP. What can you tell us from here and kind of give us a little bit about what you're seeing over there? Sydney Charles is live now at a rally in downtown Fresno. Sydney, you've been there for several hours. I can hear some of the people there behind you. What are you seeing now? We have been listening in to the meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and, of course, President Donald Trump. We've been learning a little bit about what was going on before the meeting. We know that they met for at least 3 hours. At one point, they were supposed to get lunch with some other officials and then go to the press conference. We're not sure what happened there. But just to wrap up the press conference from what we heard for so far, they're calling it a productive meeting. President Trump saying that they agreed on most points. Some of the points that they didn't agree on, he says, are either significant or not very significant, but there's one significant point. He didn't go into detail there. He says he will call people up and, of course, call Zelensky, but it's going to be up to them to come up with an agreement. So we are tracking this.
CBS 47 Eyewitness News begins with breaking news.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Katherine Phillips. We begin with breaking news out of Madera County. Evacuation orders have been issued for the areas of Road 415 and City View Drive due to the pickup fire. This is over in the Coarse Gold area. We're going to take a live look right now, give you a look at the scene. We can see some CAL FIRE crews already out there and working. They say that it started just around 2 and has burned 10 acres so far. They say if you're in that area to leave immediately. If you need evacuation assistance, you are asked to call 911 and take a look at the screen. It looks like this is the first look that we're getting into the newsroom, that is a pickup truck that perhaps was burned on fire. Hopefully we might be able to get a closer look there. If our photographer in the scene might be able to zoom in, that could help. Madera County Sheriff's Office says, oh, there we go, a little bit of a look there. The Madera County Sheriff's Office says the American Red Cross is setting up a temporary evacuation point at the Oakhurst Community Center. That's located on 39800 Road. 425B in Oakhurst. Roads are being closed off to public access. So again, good look at the scene there. You can see it looks like traffic backed up or stopped. Some CAL FIRE crews on the scene. Another fire I do want to get to right now. We're following in Fresno County, a large-scale grass fire, which CAL FIRE is calling the Button Fire. They say it's threatening multiple structures in the 5500 block of Columbia Avenue and Button Willow Avenue. This is just outside of Reedley. There's so much water being poured into this fire. There's just puddles everywhere. We were backing into this police tape earlier to let a police officer go by, and it was wet because of just how much water they are working with. Come over. I want to show you what's going on over here. Look around. We still have people working on the electrical box. They're removing glass. If we pan over here, you can see a little bit inside. If you walk with me, they've actually just added more police tape over here. This is the mobile command center for Fresno Police. We don't see it over here that often. I've been a reporter here in this area for a few years now, and it's really only brought out if something big is going on. And Fresno Police are tonight telling us that this is an event that they wanted to take seriously. Brian, we're over by the Shell gas station, that one that's that last stop before you get to Millerton Lake. And look behind me, the scene is still pretty active. In just a moment, you're going to see a CAL FIRE truck move in behind me. They go up this hill over there. There's one area that they've really worked on containing overnight. We'll talk about that coming up at 5 o'clock. But for now, you can see it's still a very active scene as this fire is still growing as per the last update. You see we do have more crews here like this one behind me going up with more guys up there to help fight the fire. So once they're done filling them up, they take them over here to this truck. You can see right now they're taking it away to the other side of the river. This road on Elwood is now open. People have been moving through. This is a change in just the past hour or so. But if you look over here, this is the house that those fire crews did have to rescue the people from. If you get off the Jensen exit from the 41, there's a neighborhood right over here. That is where we are. And there's two things I want to show you real quick. So if we pan over here, this house we've been seeing a lot of detectives move through. You can kind kind of see them behind that truck. They've been over here. Some officers, you see one right there in the tie. I don't know what they're doing over there, but they're investigating that area. One other spot I want to show you just how wide the scene is. We have 1, 2, 3 different sets of police tape blocking off a few different streets. There are 67 veterans traveling with the honor flight, and 5 of them are women. They age and range from 67 to 95 years old and cover years of service from 1951 to 1997. All of them here are traveling with a guardian on a very special chartered plane that's even decorated for the occasion. I want to kind of show you what we're looking at behind me. This is really where those crews have been getting to work. They're there right now. They're putting out hotspots and they're cutting containment lines. CAL FIRE crews from all over the state are in Wonder Valley, continuing to fight the bolt fire.
Working hand in hand where access is difficult, we're inserting our hand crews along with our bulldozers to make nice roadways for our engines to get to. When the smoke level lifts, we're able to get aircraft in there and suppress the fire enough for the ground resources to get there.
CAL FIRE Battalion Chief Andy Cosentino says the fire started Monday evening around 5 and has continued to grow. He says they're still investigating the exact cause, but says the weather's been a challenge for crews.
There's a lot of different influencing winds, and so that makes containment hard. Right now, we're keeping the fire within our containment lines.
This is one of the areas that fire crews have really been working overnight to contain the flames, but there's still some smoke and fire here on the ground, and that's a really big concern for the people who live in Wonder Valley, especially those who live nearby.
We were told to leave yesterday afternoon, so we packed up our trailer and as many animals as we could and took off.
Brian Dawes' house backs right up to where crews are working. He says after they evacuated, they kept watching what was going on through his doorbell camera, seeing the fire grow closer and the crews work throughout the night. He says while he's glad his house is still standing,
yeah, it's relaxing.
What he was most concerned for was his animals. He says a Good Samaritan who goes by the name of Cowboy 911 stayed overnight and watched his and other animals in the area who couldn't go with their owners.
I was concerned for my animals quite a bit. The house and things like that, they could be replaced.
I will not remain silent on this issue. These are the kinds of antics that keep our children failing because they distract and interfere with the real work of the school district.
Fresno Unified trustee Susan Wittrup says she's not happy with how the board and how the district is handling the fallout of former chief communications officer Nikki Henry and her settlement agreement. Documents obtained from the district show Henry is taking home $162,000 for a settlement payment after she resigned following a scandal that revealed she was using AI to create a document with fabricated quotes. The Fresno Teachers Association says it painted them in a bad light. Wittrup says last week she got an email saying the board's not going to vote on this issue because the board already gave unanimous authority to the Chief of Human Resources to negotiate the deal. She says that happened during a closed session meeting on June 18th. Wittrup says she expected they'd be briefed and updated on the negotiations, but she says that never happened, and now the settlement is final without a vote.
That makes me feel like there's something shady going on. That is not our practice.
Wittrup says this could be a violation of California's Brown Act, which requires certain public oversight of legislative bodies, and thinks at best it's sloppy governance. And the whole situation could be made better with a vote on the matter during the upcoming August 13th meeting.
The hardworking taxpayers have a right to know how their money's being spent.
She's now wondering if this is an attempt to cover something up and keep an outgoing executive quiet. Fresno Teachers Association President Manuel Bonilla says this amount of money Henry is getting is ridiculous.
For that amount of money, you could get 2 teachers in the classroom impacting the lives of many of our students. Instead, somebody that did something wrong, admittedly, is going to get rewarded $162,000.
We did reach out to the district. They did refer us to an email sent from the district's human resources to employees clarifying what happened. They say there's due process they have to follow, and sometimes it can be costly and function like a court case. So listen to this. They say in part to avoid the significant cost of those procedures and the uncertain outcomes of those hearings, sometimes public employees and with the board, authorities enter into resignation agreements with employees. So if you'd like to read the full email that was sent from HR, and we also have a look at the settlement document laying out the facts and the terms between Henry's resignation and the district, we have all that and more linked on our website, yourcentralvalley.com. For 6-year-old Elijah, getting a haircut can be hard.
They always hurt him. They don't have the patience with him. Like, there was another barbershop, remember? They saw him walk in because they remembered him. Neither of them wanted to deal with him. Like, no, we don't want to.
Because he moved too much.
It sucks, you know? So, and then the other place we're going, they kept on leaving him red marks because of the amount of moving he does.
But Monday afternoon at the always faded barber shop in Fresno was a completely different story.
He'll be crying, he'll be impatient, but out of all the barbershops we've had, this is the first one where he's literally falling asleep.
His parents, Edward and Vanessa Palacio, say it's a first, seeing their son with autism be able to relax and get comfortable getting a haircut.
We were so blown away how relaxed
like,
he is.
Owner Elias Gonzalez says despite only opening his business 2 months ago, he knew he wanted to find a way to give back to the community. His fiance suggested doing something for Autism Awareness Month, and the idea was born.
Like, all right, let's do certain days out of the week where we just offer free haircuts for the individuals. Just, all right, let's do it.
Gonzalez says he wanted to spread awareness of the obstacles kids on the autism spectrum may face, and in practice change the environment of his barbershop to make kids coming in feel more at ease.
Either it's a touch sensory stuff where it's the music or it's, big crowds. So, as soon as it hits 3 o'clock, I make sure to turn off the music and then just keep it quiet, mellow environment.
He says they even spent time training staff on the best ways to make kids with autism feel more secure and to focus on being patient. And for families like the Palicios, it's working.
Thank you.
And the cherry on top is that it's free.
He's looking fresh already. Yep, he's gonna have a nice fresh cut. Yep, feeling good, looking good.
Reporting in Fresno, Katherine Phillips.
Bye.
CBS 47.
Thank you.
Eyewitness News.